Carolina with alwaysexpectmore.com, and at the end of last year I did the Cricut Maker block of the week, which was 9 quilt blocks plus sashing and borders, and I showed you how to quilt the quilt, and I showed you how to bind the quilt, and I showed you step by step each week how to put an entire mini quilt together. And then I finished it off with this pillow showing you how to turn the whole thing into a pillow or a quilt so that you had options. So many of you made that quilt. So many of you have sent me pictures of your quilts, which is amazing. I just love seeing pictures of the finished quilts. I've gotten awesome comments, and some of them have been, hey, we've really enjoyed this. Could you maybe look at doing something new? We'd love something more. And I thought about it and decided, yeah, I could put something more together. So I created a new series. This is Cricut Maker Block of the Week, the sequel. In this sequel, we're doing 10 videos, so this is video number 1, and then 9 more videos. Each of the 9 videos is another quilt block, so that you'll have 18 different quilt blocks, all the exact same size as the originals, that you can use to make your quilts and projects. Some of the quilt blocks that we're going to be making are things like the quarter log cabin, this windmill block, the card trick, the Dutch puzzle. Seriously, there are so many fun blocks in this series. I can't wait to show you how to make all of them and see your versions in different Cricut fabrics. So here are the details to help you get started in putting it all together. Just like the original Cricut Maker block of the week, this entire quilt can be made using 1 pack of Cricut fabric. I've used this fun blue Carolina fabric made by Christopher Thompson to make my version of the quilt, but there are lots of other fun fabrics you can use. By the way, I'm pretty sure, even though Chris has never met me, he's named this fabric after me. It's not actually blue Carolina, it's blue Carolina, right? When you look at the other fabrics that they have available, you'll see some that have lots of great contrast, like this one. This would be another fabric pack that would make a great quilt for the Cricut Maker block of the week, the sequel. But one like this, while these fabrics are fun and amazing and awesome for all different kinds of projects, there's not enough contrast in these fabrics for it to really pop in the quilt. So you want to pick a fabric pack more like one of these ones rather than one that's kind of two-tone like this. Although I do have some really fun ideas for this fabric in the future. If you don't want to use a Cricut pack of fabric, that's fine. You can pick your own 5 1/3 yard cuts of fabric to make the quilt. That's all it takes. 5 1/3 yard cuts of fabric. While the Cricut Maker block of the week, the original, had enough fabric for you to make all 9 blocks, plus sashing, plus borders, plus just enough for a scrappy binding, there is not enough for a scrappy binding in this one. There really is not enough for binding at all with what's left in the fabric. So you'll want to buy matching fabric for your binding, and you'll need about 1 yard for your backing of your quilt. So buy backing fabric and a binding fabric that'll go along with these. Binding fabric, 1/4 yard is plenty. While the quilt can be made with just 1 pack of the Cricut fabric packs, if you're going to combine this quilt with the past quilt and cut blocks of both, you might want to grab 2 packs just to be safe, because as you pick different colors for your different blocks, you might run out, and I don't want them to run out of the fabric that you've chosen and that you love while you're working through the project. So if you're planning on getting creative at all, I definitely would recommend buying 2 of these packs. They're super reasonably priced, and any extra fabric, you'll find lots of projects and uses for them. Over the next 9 weeks, I'm going to take you through how to make each of the next 9 blocks in the Cricut Maker Block of the Week, the sequel series. However, I'm not going to show you how to add the sashing, how to add the borders, how to quilt it, or how to bind it, because all that information already exists in the first series. So I'll be giving you all the links from the first series to be able to follow along on how to add your sashing, your borders, how to bind it, and how to quilt it. All of that will be exactly the same. And you can even make a pillow with this new one if you like. One of the biggest questions that I get asked is, do you have to have a Cricut Maker to make the Cricut Maker block of the week? Well, the Cricut Maker is the only machine that has a rotary blade for cutting non-bonded fabrics. That means the fabric doesn't have any kind of interfacing or stabilizer on the back, which is what you want in quilting. You don't want interfacing or stabilizer on the back of your quilting cottons when you're quilting with it. The Cricut Maker right now is the only machine that does that. So you really do need a Cricut Maker in order to use these files in Design Space, cut everything out, and make the quilt. However, I do have a version of the original Cricut Maker Block of the Week where you can cut all the pieces out of pattern vinyl and you can put those onto fabric to make like a mock or faux quilt, which is super fun as well. So if you don't have a Cricut Maker, you can look at doing that with any of your Cricut machines that accesses Design Space. Just like last time, all the files in the entire series are free. I love quilting and I love sharing my love of quilting with others. And this is the way that I get to do that. I get to share with you how you can make these quilts, and hopefully you'll fall in love with quilting as well. If you use any of the links to products down in my descriptions, those are affiliate links and I do get a small commission for those, so it does pay. And all these videos have ads, which also give me a couple pennies every time someone watches them. So the best way that you can support these videos is either by shopping through those affiliate links, sharing these videos, or both. I appreciate those as well as all of your lovely comments and thumbs up. If you've already bought your supplies and you don't have anyone to share this video with, that's okay. You can still support this video by leaving thumbs up and leaving comments. YouTube sees those and sees that the video is being very popular and is being recognized, and by leaving those thumbs ups and comments, it'll actually boost the ranking of these videos so more people can see them. So there's lots of ways that you can support this video series so that it helps me make future video series for you as well. Something that I did different this time is that there's a pre-cut file for cutting all the pieces. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. I will, with each block, give you cut files every single week if you like, so you can cut each block individually as we go along. But if you already know that you want to cut the entire quilt exactly as I have it for you, then you can cut all of your pieces today. That's right, I have a link for you down below, and that file will cut 5 mats. They're sorted by color and everything fits, sometimes just barely, on a 12 by 24 inch mat. It's all been scaled and sized and snug puzzled together to fit so that you can cut all the pieces from one pack of Cricut fabric now, and you don't have to worry about loading mats every week to cut the pieces. The trick will be making sure to keep the pieces in their correct positions. So what I've done is I've numbered all the pieces for you so that you know what number block it goes to. If you're going to cut all the pieces now, I would highly recommend that you keep that pen on. That means that if you want, generally you can turn the pen off because the pen just shows you the stitching lines, and if you already know how to stitch a 1/4 inch seam, you don't need those lines at all. However, because this is going to be marking the numbers, I would recommend that you leave that pen tool on so that you can number all the pieces. Like, there's lots of triangles, and we want to make sure that the triangles that you use are the right size triangles. You don't have to do the file this way by cutting it all at once at the beginning. I absolutely will be giving you every single week the file for the block that week, so you can do it either way. I just wanted to give you this option if you wanted to be able to pre-cut all your pieces and be ready to sew each week. I know this is a ton of information. If you have any questions, chances are most of the information that you need will be down in the description box of this video. So go look in that description box and I'll have all the details and all the links that you need right there for you to read instead of listening to me list them all off for you. I'm so excited to see what y'all make with this video series and with these blocks. I want to see if you make the same blocks multiple times to make one quilt, or if you add these blocks with the blocks from the previous quilt to make different kinds of quilts. I'm just over the moon excited to see what your creativity is going to do with these blocks that I've put together for you. If you're looking forward to this series, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any updates, because every week I'll be posting a new block for you to make. So subscribe and hit that bell button so you'll get the first notifications. And if you have any questions or comments, leave those below. I'll try to get those answered as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with our first block of the Cricut Maker Block of the Week, the sequel.